All right, so I was half right on Poshmark backpedaling on their new fee structure, which they just changed, and they're now changing back effective the 24th of October 2024. What are they doing with the fees this time? Let's find out. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone sometimes with e-commerce and reselling. I don't understand it, but I made a video last week when Poshmark changed their fees to the new 5.99% plus $1, $2, or $3 on the selling side and the buyer side. Of course, previously 20% to the sellers on your transactions. $2.95 on those transactions that are on the lower end under 15 bucks. Well, here's the crazy thing. In that video, I clearly said there's no way that from the outrage and the backlash, Posh keeps this longer than a week or two. I figured definitely by the end of the month they would have it changed, and boy was I right about that part. They changed it quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I'll tell you guys, so you don't want to drag the video on, they're going back to the 20% fees. Sellers are going to pay 20% fee, $2.95 under 15, just like we did before. They're getting rid of $5.99. They're getting rid of buyer fee protection, whatever, all together. And that $5.95 Posh, whatever, protection shipping discount, that's going away as well. This was a terrible move. This shows, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, this shows just how disconnected the leadership at some of these companies truly are. To think that you are going to go onto a platform and tell your buyer that they have to pay for the privilege to buy off of your site for protections, which they already had basically. I know Posh is tough on returns, but anybody can file a chargeback with a credit card or lie about a reason to return something. There's plenty of things that people can do to get returns, and they do it. For Posh to go on and think that that was a good idea was absolutely a numbskull move. And I said that. In the last video. I said Amazon would never make a move like that because it would isolate buyers and completely outrage them. eBay would not do that either. And you see how fast Posh made this decision. I mean, literally within a week. Here's the thing. I don't think Posh made it because sellers complained. I think sellers were okay with it to a point. Sellers were more mad about it on behalf of their buyers because they would be losing sales. I think the buyers made a huge outpouring of rage. If you go look in the App Store under the Poshmark app, you'll see what I'm talking about. Go look at the reviews. Go look at the Facebook groups. Go look at the social media accounts. Posh realized, oops, this is a bad idea. Why sitting around that conference table was it a bad or good idea then and not a bad idea until the moment you launch it and get yelled at? Any doofus in any corner of the world could have sat in the middle of that boardroom and said, guys, this is a terrible idea. This is stupid. Like, what are you doing? And this tells you just how bad the leadership, in my opinion, is at making these decisions and thinking that they know what's best. They don't. They're not sellers. They're not buyers. They're not out in the real world, and they should be. They should be buying and selling and having real world experience. If they had interviewed anybody in the community before doing this, and maybe they did, and if they did, God help them, but they would have gotten the same response. No, that's a bad idea. That's terrible. What are you thinking, right? I can't imagine more than a few Nimrods would have said that that was a good idea. How many people, if you were sitting in that boardroom, would have said, this is a fantastic, changing, adaptation change that's going to be great for the community? Nobody watching this channel would have said that. On a seller side, it is good for us, of course, but the outrage from the buyer side is just too great. Your sales will tank. And a lot of people were posting, oh, I've had the greatest sales I've had in a week and this week in a month and years. There were a few. Clearly, there were a few that had really great responses. Could have been a coincidence. Could have been what they listed. Could have been just a bump in sales from fourth quarter. Who knows? But the overall mass majority of people saw a tanking of sales. Like, not just a slowdown, an absolute hard stop. And so this is a bad idea all the way around. I called it. I said it. Most people said it. It's not like it took rocket science for me to call that out. But anyways, long story short, Poshmark back to the 20% fees, just how it is, back to regularly scheduled programming. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to post this video and I'm going to purposely go out to Poshmark groups, which I don't really run in those circles too much. I don't sell on Poshmark. I used to a long time ago. It's just not a great site, in my opinion. It's very slow volume, in my opinion. Compared to eBay, you should always be outselling what you do on Posh on eBay. A lot of people say, I sell more on Posh. I don't really sell that much on eBay. It's because you're not putting in the work on eBay. You're not doing what you have to do on eBay. eBay will outsell Poshmark, period. End of story. I don't care what you sell. I don't care what your stuff is. Give me your account. Give me your inventory. Give me your eBay and your Poshmark, and I will outsell your eBay to your Poshmark every single time. period. End of story. Like I argue it. Argue with me. Change my mind in the comment section. It's simply not the case. eBay has 10 times the amount of buyers, 50 times the amount of buyers, whatever that crazy number is. And so I'm going to purposely put this video out to the Poshmark circles to tell you that if you're selling only on Poshmark and you're not on eBay, you're foolish. You're making a foolish mistake. You need to be on eBay. I'm not telling you to stop selling on Poshmark. I'm telling you that you need to sell on eBay. And the top 3 reasons, why do Poshmark sellers not sell on eBay? Anybody want to pause the video and go guess down below? Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. They're back. Okay. Number 1, they're scared of shipping. They don't understand shipping. There's only 4 ways to ship a package that you should ever need to know in all of reselling, unless you're selling refrigerators and stoves. Like if you're selling anything that's sub 10 pounds, you really only have 4 options that you should ever have to use. Ground advantage for anything under a pound or anything above a pound that's cheaper than priority or priority by weight. Padded flat rate shipping, which a lot of times padded flat rate now at it's $8 or whatever it is, ground advantage usually beats padded flat rate. I hardly ever ship padded flat rate anymore. That used to be a very important thing, but not really anymore. But it still comes in handy once in a while. Priority by weight, which generally you don't ever use anyways. Ground advantage tends to be cheaper, or padded flat rate if it fits in that. And once it gets to be too heavy, UPS ground or FedEx ground is cheaper than the priority by weight. So you have ground advantage, padded flat rate, priority by weight, and your ground, either UPS or FedEx ground options kind of split there. Usually UPS ground is cheaper. So that's it. Super easy to learn. When you get on eBay, you can do calculated list shipping, where it'll calculate it, charge the buyer. You just fill in the weight and dimensions. You're all set, and you go to town. Number 2 reason they don't sell on eBay is because returns. They're scared to death of returns. Returns are part of e-commerce. Say it for the people in the back. It's part of e-commerce. I've sold on e-commerce. I've sold on eBay. I've sold on Amazon and platforms for 20 years. Returns are part of the business. Best Buy, Walmart, Target. Guarantee these same Poshmark sellers who think that, oh my God, returns are so stupid, blah, blah. You're the same people that buy on Amazon and return stuff all the time. Facts. Change my mind. Argue with me. Fight me. Returns are part of the game. Learn it. It's not that hard to fight back on eBay. Then there's always this false sense of eBay takes the scammer's side, the buyer's side. Not all the time. You can fight it. Again, it's a game. You learn the game, you learn the tactics, and you win your cases. You don't have to worry about that. Very minor. I sell thousands and thousands of items on eBay, and the very few returns that I get 1 scammer a year, 2 scammers a year at most, and I beat them both. Never do I ever get scammed out of my money or my item. I might have to eat a feedback here and there, but it happens. It's just part of the game. I would say a bonus reason why Poshmark sellers don't sell on eBay is they get lied to on social media and Facebook groups about the fee cost. Poshmark's 20%, eBay's 13.5% on most categories. It's different from some categories, of course, but it's 13.5%. It's 6.5% cheaper. People are like, oh, by the time you promote and fees on the shipping and the taxes and both. Listen, you do the fees, Bubba, on the fees, on the taxes and the sales and the shipping and the sales tax. It still only ends up being, with my 2% promoted, I've ran it across the board, 15.5% to 16%. So I'm paying 13.5% for the fees, 2 for promoted, which is 15.5%, and then I'm usually bumped up just a hair because they're doing it on the sales tax and the shipping costs, which I do free shipping, but it doesn't matter if I do 20 plus 5 or 25 free shipping. My total all-in fees across the board when I divide them out monthly is generally right around a 16% average. Sometimes it can be 16.5%. That's fair, even 17 on some random items that I might sell that have a higher fee cost, or I do a higher promoted. But generally, I don't believe I've seen an item I've had over 17%, including my promoted. So you're still cheaper than Poshmark, even doing promoted, even with that fee being based on the sales tax and the shipping. So people get that lied to sense of doom and gloom from social media groups that are like, eBay's fees, Feebay, 29%, 35%. They don't know how to calculate it. They don't know what they're doing. They're looking at the wrong thing. They go to the report that shows their fee breakdown was 36%, and they forget that the shipping label was a part of the total gross sale that they were paid for, and actually their shipping label was 20% and their fee was 16%. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't get accounting. They don't understand their numbers. They're confused. And so all of this combined intimidates Poshmark sellers from selling on eBay, when they should be, because they'd be making more money and they wouldn't have to deal with the Nimrod decisions, the disconnected decisions that people at Poshmark are clearly making that are not working. Okay, full circle video. That's your update. 20% fees are back. Enjoy the video. I hope you take time, if you are a Poshmark seller, to get past my abrasive, brash, straight to the point facts about these platforms and just take it for the informational value that I'm giving you. I'm telling you why Posh sellers don't sell on eBay. I'm telling you the decisions being made are dumb. I'm telling you all this stuff because I've done this for 20 plus years. I've seen it over and over and over again. I deal with tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of sellers on a monthly basis. Go check out the group. Thrifter Reseller World is full of people that will tell you the same thing. Put my personality aside. I know some of you, not your cup of tea, that's fine. Take the facts for the facts, be educated, learn, and hopefully it will make you more money. Enjoy your Monday afternoon, everybody. I hope it is good to you. I hope you make money. I hope you're safe. I hope you're productive and profitable. And until the next one, if you could hit that like button, it means a lot to me and my YouTube algorithm. And if you could subscribe, come back, watch future videos. That would mean a lot to me and the algorithm as well. I'll talk to you guys next time.